Is Liverpool better than City? Like, come on, what kind of question are you asking? What's up, Rich Squad? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dominic Rich, and it's episode 3 of Q&A Fridays, where you guys ask the questions and I provide the answers. If you're watching this video right now, don't forget to leave your questions down below or wait for the weekly community tab posts. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna get into these questions. I'm gonna make it really fun today, guys, so stick around. First question I have from Octavian Okumu, and he asked, who is PSG's most influential player between Kylian Mbappe and Neymar Jr., or are they equally important? To answer your question, that is not difficult at all, and the stats this season showed the way Kylian Mbappe was this season. It just shows and proves that he is PSG's most important player, and they must do everything in their power to hold on to that young phenom. He is a legend. I was about to say future legend. Yeah, future legend. But this kid is going to be a legend. He is one of France's, if not France's, best player. We saw what he did at the 2018 World Cup. He was the league's top scorer, and for a teenager, he's probably 20 right now. He is simply amazing. And I think Kylian Mbappe is actually a top 5 footballer right now, to be completely honest. If you guys feel that way, let me know in the comment section down below. When it comes to Neymar though, he is no doubt a very good player, but I prefer Neymar when he was at Barcelona. I think that move to PSG just kind of tarnished his record. You see, he went to the World Cup and he was rolling around all over the place. This season he got banned twice, so he won't be participating in half the group games next season in the Champions League. And he also got banned again in France for taking a swipe at a fan. Well, he actually got banned from the Champions League for some Instagram antics, like talking too much. The man is making his ego get to his head, basically. But no doubt he is a really good footballer, but he needs to be a bit more humble. He needs to be a bit more mature. With all those shenanigans, he got the Brazil captaincy stripped from him and given to Dani Alves, who is a very old player, probably on his way to 37. So if you're gonna give the captaincy to a 37-year-old player, what is that telling you? Like, come on, Neymar should have been the captain of Brazil, and he should have been securing his legendary status. No doubt he will be a legend, but if he continue like this, I don't think so. So my answer to your question, Kylian Mbappe is PSG's most influential player right now, not Neymar. And the second question comes from Zola Mamit. He has quite a few questions, so I'm gonna break each and every one of them down individually. First one, are you a Glory Hunter fan, as most of City fans are newly discovered ones since like 2012? Firstly, let me answer that question. I became a City fan in 2017, and there is no shame in that. The reason why I became a City fan is because I was a neutral before, and then I started this YouTube channel, so I figured I need a team to carry, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. So the way I came up with choosing a team to follow, I didn't even have to do that. The team chose me. I always watch Premier League football, and I was like, this team, City, is freaking good. This was even before they were gonna win the title in the 2017-18 season, and I chose City, and it has been no looking back so far. So answer to your question, am I a Glory Hunter fan? I am not. If Pep Guardiola is to leave tomorrow, and most of City's star player is to leave, and they go into bankruptcy, or they go into that other thing that they call it, and they get relegated, I will still be a City fan. And he has another question, and I quote, and another question, be honest, who would you want to coach your team, Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola? Guys, I also want you to answer this question in the comment section down below as well. Who would I want to coach my team, Pep or Klopp. I'm going to have to say Pep, and not because he is Manchester City's coach and I'm a City fan, but I think Pep Guardiola is a better manager than Jurgen Klopp. The titles and the trophies tell the whole true story. Pep at Barcelona won everything. Pep at Bayern Munich, he was brilliant. And now Pep at Manchester City, it seems like he is getting better and better with age. It's like fine wine. Even though he hasn't won the Champions League yet with Manchester City, it's inevitable. Just wait for it, guys. As for Klopp, he's been a manager for the past 18 years. I'm talking about a top-class manager with Mainz, and he brought them up from the second division. And then with Dortmund, he won 2 titles, a few Super Cups, a German Cup. He didn't win the Champions League, was in the final, and then he came to Liverpool. And I think he improved this Liverpool team, but he hasn't won anything yet. He had his chances. He's been in like 3 finals, a League Cup, Europa League, Champions League, and now the Champions League again this season to make a 4th final. And as of the time of making this video, he is yet to win a single one. So all the best to Liverpool in the Champions League final though. I wish him all the best. By the time some of you guys are seeing this video, we will already know the results of the Champions League. So Jurgen Klopp, I don't think he's a better manager than Pep Guardiola. Both are very, very good managers. Let me just say that. But Pep is winning the race. He also have another question. Who would you want in your team? Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? That is a hard question, but an easy question if you have already made up your mind which player you like more. And I would prefer to have Messi in my team just because of what he's been doing, what he's capable of doing, and I think he is a more level-headed person than Cristiano Ronaldo. It would be great to have both players in the team, but if I have to pick one, I'm gonna have to go for Messi. It's really hard. It's a hard choice, but Messi is, I think, the better player, in my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. He also have another question. Who is better, Neymar or Salah or Hazard? Thank you. Well, that's not an easy one as well. 3 players, all different types of players. Salah has the pace, Neymar has the swagger, but Eden Hazard, I think, is the more complete of the 3. He is humble, he has the skills, he has pace, and he has the stats to back it up. And I'm gonna have to go for Eden Hazard here. He is the more accomplished of the 3 players in my opinion, over Neymar. Neymar is very, very childish. Neymar should have been at a higher level in his career right now. I think all the shenanigans need to stop. It need to stop. I think his move to PSG is kinda getting to his head. With all the money and the fame and the girls and the women and all of that stuff is just getting to his head, to be completely honest. But for Eden Hazard, it's just hard to hate the guy. Look at what he did versus Arsenal in the Europa League final. He is moving on to Real Madrid and bigger things are to come from Eden Hazard. Remember, I told you that today, I told you that on the 3rd episode of Q&A Fridays. So to answer your question, Eden Hazard. Thank you very much, Zola Mamit. I really, really appreciate you asking so many questions because a lot of you guys didn't even ask a single one. Thank you. Then we have another question from Guess Who. Thank you very much, Guess Who, for leaving some very, very detailed comments on the channel. Just to let you know, I read every single one of them and I appreciate it. He asked, a question for you. What are your thoughts of Jaap Stam becoming the new manager of Feyenoord, a legendary defender and great with developing youth players? Do you think he can bring the club back to the level should be in the Dutch League and European Cups, or do you think he will fail? Well, the Jaap Stam situation is kinda tricky. As far as I can remember about Jaap Stam, I haven't really been following his coaching career that closely, but I could remember him being the manager of Reading and he lost to Huddersfield in the championship playoff final. And then after that, I haven't heard much about him. If you have more info on Jaap Stam that you could shed some light, let me know down below. But will he get Feyenoord back challenging for the league title and in Europe? Feyenoord did win the league title a few seasons ago, so they are still in the mix. They're definitely still in the mix. And as far as challenging in Europe, that will be very, very difficult. That would be difficult, but it can be done. We saw what PSV did. We saw what Ajax did. These teams can challenge in Europe. They have to go through a grueling qualification process in the Champions League, but still, I think the Dutch teams got what it takes to do it. There's a lot of talent in the Netherlands. All Jaap Stam needs to do is they need to scout well, they need to recruit well, and put the team together well, and who knows, anything could happen. But will he fail or will he be successful? It's very, very, very hard to say. It's very difficult to predict something like that. We have a question here from my boy Giga Karun. It's a very, very simple question, and he asked, will you continue doing Calypso Boys series? Well, Calypso Boys series was a gaming series that I started involving all the players with Caribbean background. I did a FIFA Ultimate Team series, 10 episodes. You could go check it out if you want, or you don't have to. But will I be continuing it? I really don't know. Maybe I'll start a gaming channel and just throw gaming videos on there, a series or just random videos. But on this channel, I don't know. It did not work. Gaming doesn't really work unless you've been a gamer for a while, because the gaming industry is really, really saturated. And it really took a lot of time to edit those videos, guys. Ridiculous amount of time, I'm telling you. So right now, with the amount of content I have to do and the amount of tournaments I want to cover, I won't be doing Calypso Boys anytime soon. But maybe on a new channel of some sort, maybe. And then we have a question here from Misha Levi Abramski, and he asked, question for next Q&A. If you could choose your best 11 out of every player in Europe for this season, who would they be? You also get 6 subs. By the way, love your videos from Canada. Thank you very much, Misha. That's a very, very difficult question. But off the top, if I have to pick a best 11 plus 6 subs, 7 subs, this would be my 11 off the top. Ooh, it's difficult. This one is hard. Well, not so hard. I would go with a 4-3-3 formation. In goal, I would go with my goalkeeper, Edison, just because he's a ball-playing goalkeeper and he is very decent between the sticks as well. Not biased, just my preference. Remember, it's my best 11. So I'll go with Edison in goal. My defenders, I'll go with Virgil van Dijk and Kalidou Koulibaly. I really like those 2 players. Left back, I'm going to go in with Andrew Robertson. Really, really good for Liverpool this season. And in the right back position, I'm also going for another Liverpool player in Trent Alexander-Arnold. So my back line has 3 English players and an Italian player. Well, he plays in a Serie A. He's from Senegal. My midfield. This one is really, really tricky, guys. It's really tricky. My holding midfielder. I'm gonna go for... Oh, this one is hard, man. This is hard. Why you had to ask me that question, though? It's really hard. But, I'm gonna go for... That one is hard, man. Holding midfielder. Let me go for Fernandinho. He's one of the best holding midfielders still in the game. So I'll say Fernandinho. Guys, it's going to be English Premier League biased, of course. That's the league I watch.
One eternity later.
Then for my other 2 midfielders, I'm going to go in with Christian Eriksen and Toni Kroos. This team is a really good team, right? And further up the field in the forward positions, I'm going to go with Kylian Mbappe over on the right, Messi in the middle, and Cristiano Ronaldo as my left winger. For 6 subs, I'm going to go with Eden Hazard. Ooh, 6 subs. Eden Hazard, definitely. Mohamed Salah, definitely. Neymar Jr. has to be in the team. And for some defenders, Giorgio Chiellini, Emerick Laporte, backup keeper Jan Oblak. I would love to have Sadio Mane, Kevin De Bruyne, and as a surprise pick to sit on the bench, Jadon Sancho. Now that's what you call a killer 11. Let me know your best 11 across Europe this season in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for the question though. It was not easy, but I enjoy the question. And then we have a great question here from Eric FCD, and he asks, who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or for this year? 2019 Ballon d'Or. Very, very great question. I like questions like this. Who would win the Ballon d'Or? First of all, let's shortlist 5 players who we think could potentially win the Ballon d'Or this year. All right, firstly, you have to put Lionel Messi on the list. He's in there in contention every single year. Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Got to throw him in there. Kylian Mbappe, he had a great season. Eden Hazard, great season as well. And the 5th and final player I'm going to consider for the Ballon d'Or will be Virgil van Dijk. So we have Virgil van Dijk, Eden Hazard, Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo. I think I'm just about right with those 5 players. Out of those 5 players, who will win the 2019 FIFA Ballon d'Or? Is it still the FIFA Ballon d'Or? Or French Ballon d'Or, whatever. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Ballon d'Or. Let's just say Ballon d'Or. Who would win the 2019 Ballon d'Or? Lionel Messi. A lot of goals, a lot of assists. Very, very consistent this season. All he won this season was the La Liga trophy. He lost in the Champions League semi-final, lost in the Copa del Rey final. So he does not have that working for him. Copa America, if he wins it with Argentina, it will strengthen his case. But based on individual performances, Messi is right up there to win another Ballon d'Or. Then Cristiano Ronaldo, will he win it? Guys, I don't think he is going to win it this year again. Luka Modric won it last year, and people were saying Cristiano Ronaldo deserved it, and he did better last year than he did this year. He won a Scudetto in his first season with Juventus, but got knocked out in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. So he could win the Nations League with Portugal. That's the only thing left this year to win Super Cup, Italia Super Cup. I don't think he is going to win the Ballon d'Or. We are down to 3 more players. Virgil van Dijk, PFA Player of the Season, basically the Premier League's best player. He has transformed Liverpool's defense, basically their best defense in years, or maybe in a very, 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 very long time. And Liverpool only conceded 22 goals in the Premier League. He is in another Champions League final, and if he wins the Champions League final, it will definitely strengthen his case for the 2019 Ballon d'Or. Second in the Premier League behind City. They were awesome. They didn't win any trophies yet at the time of making this video, so that won't be working in his favor. In the Nations League, if he does win something with the Netherlands, it could strengthen his case as well. So Virgil van Dijk could become the first defender since Fabio Cannavaro to win the Ballon d'Or, because he was the first defender to win the PFA Player of the Season since John Terry did it like a long time ago. So could it be happening again? It's quite possible. It would be nice for them to give it to a defender for change. And then another player on the list, Kylian Mbappe, man. The man won a World Cup with France, and he's only still 20. League on top scorer this season with PSG, and the man is mature beyond his years. Will he win the 2019 Ballon d'Or? It's quite possible, but with only a League on trophy, it's gonna be kind of hard. But individual performances could help Kylian Mbappe win the Ballon d'Or. Plus, with his age to factor in, you might want to give it to someone fresh, but not just for the case of giving it to someone. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. He's been freaking brilliant. He's been brilliant. And then we have Eden Hazard, man. Eden Hazard. The man has been consistent for years upon years since he played in the French League on with Lille. He has been so freaking good for Chelsea, and now he is going to move on to Real Madrid. He just won the Europa League with Chelsea yesterday. He has won 2 titles since he's been there, a few cups as well. And he has been amazing for Belgium as well. So Eden Hazard could definitely win the Ballon d'Or, but maybe he won't win it. Maybe he won't. So if it all boils down to one player, my favorite player right now to win the Ballon d'Or, it's going to be Kylian Mbappe. I would really love to see Kylian Mbappe win the Ballon d'Or award. But PSG has to do more in the Champions League, so they might just give it to Lionel Messi or Virgil van Dijk. So right now, I want Kylian Mbappe to win it. He's been amazing, but I think it's gonna be down to Messi or Van Dijk. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. We have another great question here from Gaming with Phoenix, and he asks, what's your favorite comeback of all time? That's a very, very difficult question because there's been a lot of very, very, very good comebacks, especially lately. But I'm gonna talk about 3 specific comebacks. Matter of fact, 4 comebacks right now, 4 comebacks. And the first one I'm gonna talk about, well, my favorite of all time. First one I'm gonna talk about is briefly, not to go too much in depth, but it's North Korea versus Portugal 1966 World Cup. North Korea were up, I can't remember how many goals, but the scoreline ended in I think it was like 5-2 or 5-3 or something. But it was Eusebio, man. He bagged 4 goals in that game. He was brilliant. That was the first time I actually sat down and looked into Eusebio. The man is Portugal's all-time best player. I'm gonna say that right now. And that is one of the most remarkable comebacks in World Cup history. So I'm gonna say that one. And you can't talk about comebacks without mentioning Liverpool's comeback in the Champions League finals back in 2005 when they came back from being 3-0 down to tie the game, take it to extra time, and going on to win the Champions League title on penalties. That was an amazing, amazing game, and they did it again. They came back again this season, but this time it was in the semi-final. 3-0 down versus Barcelona at the Camp Nou. They went to Anfield and it was magical. Defeated Barcelona 4-0. A brace by Divock Origi and another brace by Gini Wijnaldum sealed Barcelona's fate and basically fucked up their whole season despite them winning La Liga. They then went on to lose the Copa del Rey final after that heartbreak. So that comeback is one of the most memorable ones. But the comeback that takes all the spoils for me, it has to be the Barcelona 6-1 thrashing of PSG a few seasons back. It was my first ever video on YouTube and I will never ever forget that game. All the other games I may forget, but that one, I won't ever forget it. I won't ever forget it. I don't remember how the goals were scored and who scored every single one of them, but all I can remember was PSG defeated Barcelona 4-0 in France. They went to the Camp Nou and they bottled it. They choked again, like they always do in the Champions League. They even got a goal back. I could remember Cavani scoring that goal, celebrating, but Barcelona they needed 3 or 4 goals in like 15 minutes, and they did it. I could remember Sergio Roberto scoring that winning goal. It was a lot of controversial decisions made by Dennis Eitekin, the referee, and it was an epic game. It was an epic game. But I will never ever forget that tie. Barcelona defeating PSG 6-5 on aggregate, 6-1 in that game to go on to the next round. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And you know who was the manager of PSG then? It was Unai Emery. It cost him his job as well. Ultimately did cost him his job. So very, very, very good question. I really, really appreciate that gaming with Phoenix. We have 2 questions here from X Sigma Rage, and he asked, who will win the EPL next season? That's a very, very easy question. Manchester City. Yeah, I do think we will win 3 in a row. Not even joking about that. Liverpool will contest it again. It will be another race. Might see a few more teams join it, but I think Man City will win it again if Pep Guardiola stays. Let me just mention that. And then he asked, is Liverpool better than City? Like, come on, what kind of question are you asking? They are not better than City. We won 2 titles in a row. Even though Liverpool went to 2 Champions League final, and as of the time of making the video, they haven't defeated Tottenham yet, or they haven't lost to Tottenham yet. So we don't know what's going to happen yet, but they're not a better team than Man City in my opinion. They're a very, very good team. The 2 teams are right there, you know, neck to neck, but Liverpool ain't a better team than Manchester City. And I'm not even being biased here. And guys, the last question on the list is from Brian Hinojosa. And he asked, it seems like it's a long question here. What do you think of the 3-week break the English clubs have had for their European finals? I personally see this as an issue and the reason looking back why Liverpool lost the final last year. Rust. During this time, Chelsea played a friendly in the USA and Loftus Street got injured, and Liverpool players were everywhere vacationing in the first week. Origi in Dubai, Lovren in Croatia are just a few examples. Meanwhile, Spurs and Arsenal were just trading in London all this time. So my second question, will the introduction of a winter break make it less of a gap between matches for potential England finalists? Well, your question is basically saying, is it too much of a gap between the finals of the Champions League and Europa League, and will it affect whoever is taking part in those finals? To answer your question, Brian, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the players need a little break from football, and I don't think that it's going to affect the Champions League result at all. Look at the Chelsea versus Arsenal match yesterday. It's like everybody thought it was going to be Arsenal to win it. Not everybody, but I did. And Chelsea went on to win it. And Chelsea were the more relaxed team coming into that final. They didn't even need to win it to go into next season's Champions League. And Arsenal, they lost 4-1. Liverpool, with their players vacationing and all of that and just taking a break, it's very, very healthy for the players to relax. Playing constantly could take a toll on the mind and the body. So it's just good to relax before, you know, the game, whether it's 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I don't think it would make a difference. I really don't think it will make a difference here. It's just whoever shows up on the day and play the better football. But you do have a great point. But you also have to take into consideration that these players are not robots, they're humans. Also, will a winter break change that? I don't think they need to have a winter break. If they want to implement a winter break, they can do it. But I don't think the Premier League needs a winter break. That's why each squad has 20-something players. So you have to rotate. It's down to the managers if they don't want to properly rotate their players. It's down to the managers and the clubs if they don't want to build a stellar squad, a very, very deep squad. So you can't really complain too much. In this day and age, people want football, more and more football. The game is very, very fast paced. Like, I can't even remember games from 1 month ago. That's how fast paced it is. These players are getting paid a lot to play, and that's what they have to go out there and do. But I don't think that a winter break is needed. I don't think that a long break affects the result on the day either. I was a sportsman myself, and it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter. It's just who shows up on the day and performs the best. Thank you guys for your question. That brings it to an end of episode 3 of Q&A Fridays, where you guys ask the questions and I provide the answers. If you have any more questions for episode 4, please leave them in the comment section down below. I really appreciate it and I enjoy doing this show. Thank you very much, guys. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button, smash the thumbs up button, and until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. By the way, guys, do you like the little things I have up on the wall there? Because I do. This is the Champions League scarf from last season, and this is the first time I'm opening it. Crazy, right? But anyways, later.